bringing you another video today on another respirator. This one is an early British Army General Service Mark IV respirator, Mark IV facepiece, with an E4 filter on it. Mark V Haversack. I will say get the respirator out from the Haversack now and show you some of the details. This respirator is a rather nice example. Did have to do some restoration work on it, which I will go into in a minute or two. I will first of all show you some of the details and some of the features that make this different from later examples of Mark IV. First of all, the facepiece is made of a red rubber rather than black. Let's see if we can see in here. Get the light in there. The internal part of the exhale valve is the same as later types essentially. The eyepieces are a bit different. Again, doing this one-handed, not great. It'd be better when I've got someone to help me, or a camera on a tripod or something. You can see there the broad arrow stamp and the normal sizing in the centre there. This one is dated. Whereabouts is it dated? Here we go. Don't know how clearly this will be to see. Avon. Don't know how clearly we can get this up here. Looks almost like an 8 on the video. It is in fact a 6. That's been smudged, but it's a 1936 example. By 38, these were being made in black rubber with different eyepieces. The eyepieces here, in contrast to the ones I've already, the video I've already uploaded on the specialty mic, these eyepieces are fixed. There is no screw, which is another indicator of an early mask. This is essentially how they were first produced in the early 30s, and it was about 36, well, the sort of end of 36, 37. You start to see 37 dated ones with a black rubber facepiece, and then from then on you see them with the screw-in eyepieces from the late 30s onwards. The exhale valve outer is also a different shape, a slightly different shape than early ones. Having this rim rather than being convex right to the edge, it's actually got this little flat on the actual olive green painted section. Otherwise pretty much the same, attached in the same way with a wire. The facepiece itself is the same shape as later types. It just got it looks a little odd because the top is folded in the way it's been folded in the Haversack. I have got it on a head now, as you can see it pops back in. I have got it on a polystyrene head now to stretch it out a bit. So anyway, the work I've done on this, when I got it, it's actually a bit more clearly dated on the, I think the head harness might even be dated 35. It's a bit faint just here. Anyway, the head harness was completely shot, and when I say completely shot, I mean the elastic was actually crumbling to dust, not just elongated and stretched. So I took the decision to replace the elastics, which involves taking off all these clips, removing the old elastic, and clamping these back onto the new elastic, which I've lost the stripe. The original elastic was striped, as a lot of these are, but you do see plain black as well, so I'm not too worried about that. The head harness, the back piece of the head harness was also completely gone. The rubber had actually gone so dry it was basically breaking up like a brittle plastic rather than rubber. So I cut a shape to match, managed to peel off the fabric reinforcement and glue that onto a new rubber piece. So that has been quite successful. Some might say sacrilege, but the old one was literally falling apart day on day. Just from sat in the respirator, you'd pick it up to have a look inside the respirator, and underneath the mask there would be a pile of elastic dust and crumbled back piece of the head harness. So I dealt with that. The hose, when I bought it, was actually loose. and had crumbled. So I managed to procure a new hose, and I fitted a new hose because the old one was loose anyway. And in the process, it had a brick red filter which had been added later. A lot of these were reconditioned. When the buff filters were replaced, a lot of masks had, a lot of respirators had, the face pieces were still sound, as this one is. The rubber is lovely, but they would fit the new brick red filter, which obviously had better properties, filtering properties. But this is actually dated 38. This filter, number 4AE4 at the bottom there, and you can see the manufacturer's details there. And I wired these back on with fresh wire and tape, which is not difficult to do. So it's had a thorough restoration, which again some people might view as sacrilege, but it was so. The face piece itself was in such good condition, and the other pieces were in such bad condition. It seemed a shame to have it rotting when I could have it on display, and it's a lot better for it. I've managed to maintain a lot of the original bits, which is good. So anyway, I'll move on to the Haversack now and show you the Haversack, and as I've done before, I'll show the contents of the Haversack, what came with it, the accessories, and yeah, get that into frame in a second. So the Mark V respirator Haversack, very simple, one compartment, so the flap just covers one single compartment that holds everything, well, two compartments under one flap which hold everything. So as with most respirator Haversacks, most British respirator Haversacks for the general service type, you've got one divided compartment in which the filter goes on the right here, the face piece goes here when you're not wearing it, and then there's another single compartment. It's similar to the Mark 7 in many respects, except that you don't have the little pouches here for the ointment and the anti-dimming outfit. The anti-dimming outfit, actually, I don't know if we can get enough light in here to see, but we'll try, is in the bottom of the facepiece compartment. Just down in here there's a little loop, which, there we go, you can see it in the bottom there, and it fits in that little loop there. So that's the Haversack. I should point out first of all, perhaps is dated here, 1936, V Mark V. The anti-dimming outfit is a Mark V anti-dim. This is, I'll look at these in detail in a video at a time, but these are essentially, it's an anti-fogging compound and a cloth which you can wipe onto the eye shields of the eyepieces of the respirator, and also onto eye shields to prevent them from fogging up when you're wearing them. This is dated 1936 as well, as you can see on the end there. Apologies for shaky hands. Also in the respirator there's a pack of eye shields dated 1939. Box of them. The earlier types came in a box, and then they moved on to the simpler wallet design, which I've shown in another video of the mic T, and you'll see in other videos. And we've got the early, in this particular one I've got the early ointment number 2, anti-gas ointment number 2, which as I've said before, comes with a big wad of cotton waste for sloughing off, for absorbing blister agent, and then ointment, anti-gas ointment is essentially a bleach paste which neutralises the chemical which acts as a blister agent. And this is essentially just a glass cold cream pot. The early ointment, I don't think I'm going to get the lid off one-handed. The early ointment anti-gas number 2 comes in essentially what is a cold cream pot, glass pot with a metal lid, and there's also a brown glass version as well. This is the white one, which I believe is more common, but there's also a brown glass version of this, and these were sort of used 1939-40 in France. So the BEF, if you're doing a, if you're putting together a BEF uniform and Haversack and so forth, this is something to look out for. Later ones of course came in a tin. I'll probably do a video on ointment as well as the anti-dims, just to clarify that. So there we go. So there we have the 1936 Mark IV general service respirator with the Haversack and the Haversack contents. Hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you found that interesting again. Again, I'll have to try and think what to do for the next one. Until then, bye for now.